In my summoning video for Rosalie, you saw that I got her. It was really bad RNG, but that's okay. I finally got her. That's what matters. Now let's go and test her out. Hello everyone, this is Shinobi, once again with another Awaken Chaos Era video. So today we are going to test out Rosalie. We will see how good she is in dungeons and see if she can be used in PvP. We will look at her build and see her skills, right? But before that, let me thank all my subscribers. I have reached 579 now. I need another 421. So let's go ahead, smash that subscribe button, hit that like button, and if possible, share my video. Just like Carol, just like Jeronel, just like Nero, just like Ashlyn, Rosalie is also one of the best season heroes that Ace has introduced. She is all-round well-built, has got good enough speed, has got a very good attack, very good damage. She has got a really good kit that makes her really good against fire and wood heroes. Whether it be dungeons or be it arena, if you're going against a group of fire and wood heroes, Ashlyn is going to be really useful. And that's why I would certainly recommend building her. Especially for me, I'm personally using her in dungeons. I'm not going to use her really in arena, because in arena it's mostly light dark, especially in diamond arena. Okay, it's light dark heroes, and her kit does not actually work against light dark heroes. It only works against fire and wood elements. So in arena it's going to be very difficult to use her there. So her element conversion, it gives fire scythe and frost scythe, and also launches a counter attack when they are hit. That's when she's hit. So that's only like, when attacked by fire and or wood heroes, right? So if you're going in arena against a dark Andre, she's not going to do anything, right? So it's going to be really hard in arena to use her. But in dungeons, she's going to be really good in Ash Magisteria and in Tulpa. I'm using her now. I have replaced my Opal and I'm using her instead of Opal. So you can imagine what is going to happen. Because my Natalia does not have 7,000 attack, I wanted a more consistent run. So I removed my Opal from my Ash team and I'm now getting a consistent run because of her, right? So her damage is, her passive, her special ability is really good as well. It cleanses her. So if she is the one who has got the highest attack, which she is not in my team, in my team Natalia has the highest attack, but if she is the one who has the highest attack, then she can cleanse that bomb from herself, right? But she will not be able to cleanse stun or freeze. Remember that she will not cleanse, stun or freeze. She will she'll clear every other negative effect except stun or freeze, because she has to counterattack. So that's the only problem with her kit. As far as trait is concerned, if she's been attacked by a wood hero, or if she's attacking a wood hero, she will ignore 50% of the defense, and if she's attacking a fire hero, she will be able to do 50 splash damage, which is equal to 50% of the damage dealt on the main target. So that means she can deal a really good AoE. Okay, but that does not mean that you have to use her in average set. Average set does not do much when it comes to splash damage. Okay, it's better to give her a warrior set or a assassin set. The reason why I'm saying give her a warrior set is because she also heals when she uses a counterattack. So when she counterattacks with a special ability, she will heal based on her attack stats. And getting 5,500 or possibly 6,000 attack in an assassin set, it means you are using endgame gear. Okay, you're using a Veil gear. With an warrior set, you can, with a warrior set, you can certainly reach that kind of a stat. 6,000 attack can be reached with a warrior set. But otherwise, it's going to be really, really hard to give her that kind of a stat. So I'm currently I have now currently geared her in an assassin set, and that's because I want to deal maximum damage on the main target, and because assassin set guarantees 50% of additional damage to the main target. It's only to the main target, not to anybody else. So it guarantees 15% additional damage. So you're getting 15% worth of more damage on the main target, and you're also having a chance, 50% chance to get a 35% additional damage. So basically 50% if you're getting the right RNG. So I have given her a speed set and a assassin set. You can give her speed sets, you can give her warrior sets, not a problem, but average set is not going to do her any good. But of course, if you have got a broken set that has got really, really high attack stats, good speed, good crit damage, go ahead and use it. So her overall stats that I have built her in is 4,800 attack. I couldn't get her above 5,000 attack, I'm sorry. And I wanted, I thought, like, why use a warrior set? Why not use an assassin set? Yeah, I know. It's a trade-off, it's your choice, you can do that. If you want to use an assassin set, that's fine. Or you can, if you're not going to use an assassin set, then you can give her 5,200 to 5,500 attack with a warrior set, and it will deal consistently the same damage that the assassin set would have dealt. So yeah, you can use any of those, and you can also give her as much as crit damage as possible. Currently I could give her only 274 crit damage, but you can give her anything around 300 to 350 if you are having that kind of a veil gear. That is, I have got only this much. So I managed to get her to 169 speed. At least 164, 165 is required if you want to go against the boss in the dungeons. That will be the best speed that you should be having. Don't require focus. If you are having resistance, that's fine. You don't require focus at all. As much precision as possible, that's it. Okay, don't worry about other stats. Concentrate on her attack. Yeah, having somewhere around 13,000 health and 1,200 to 1,500 defense is the ideal one. I don't have that kind of a health and defense on her, but getting her to that level is very, very ideal. 14,000 health is the best one for dungeon 14 on her. Okay, 14,000 health, 1,200 defense. That will ensure that she can actually solo things. Okay, at the later on, if your team is failing, she will be able to solo. But at this attack, I don't think she will be able to solo. Like Zulis, if you want to see Zulis's video, you can see the stats required to make her solo. But I don't think in this stats she will be able to solo it. I might have to do a lot more tests on her to see if she'll be able to solo this Ash dungeon using only this stat, because she's not going to get a lot of health back. You know, when she counterattacks, she has to heal herself up, and because this is only 4,800 attack, she's not going to heal that much, and that means that she's going to take a lot more damage when compared to her heals. And so I would not suggest using her with this stat for a solo run. And again, I'm not going to show you the solo run. I'm only going to show you a team run, right? So we will look at her in Tulpa and in Ash Magisteria to see what kind of team you can build around her, so that she can do the runs consistently as fast as possible and finish it off soon. Of course, there will be Natalia in Ash Magisteria. Can't help it. So this is the team that I'm using in Ash Magisteria Hell Stage 4. So I've got my favorite legendary Winstrix. Okay, of course she's not legendary, she's epic, but for me she's legendary Winstrix. Okay, so Sacred Winstrix is of course really, really good. Jonathan, Natalia, and obviously we have got our Rosalie. So I'm not going to show the waves. The reason why I'm using Natalia is to clear the waves. Rosalie on her own is not able to clear the waves at this time. Maybe if I give her around 6,500 attack, 300 crit damage, possibly she will be able to clear the waves on her own. Then you don't need any other hero except her. Possibly, I'll have to test that. Okay, but at this moment I'm using Natalia to clear the waves, and then we'll get to the boss stage and I'll get back to you at that point. So here we are at the boss stage. So you can see what is happening over here. Of course, when you reach the boss, all your cooldowns are reset. So I've got Jonathan over here to place that defense down and the attack down. Then I have got my Sacred Wind Strikes increasing my damage. You can see the AoE done by Natalia. It's not an actual AoE, but then you can see what happens when this splash damage is done by I'll just slow down the speed on the runs so that you can see what actually happens when the minions come through. So she does this splash damage, you know, the kind of splash damage that she's doing ensures that, because this is a fire hero, that's why you are having that splash damage, okay? It doesn't happen in Tulpa. It only happens here against fire heroes because she has got Frostfire, and so she will be dealing splash damage. So when the minions come here, I do not require a William over here to ensure that my Natalia is able to do a counter-attack damage, because, and it's also not possible that Natalia will always have the enough buffs to deal the counter-attack damage on every single of the minions. You can see here, I've got 3 minions over here, and it's not possible for me to ensure that every single minion is going to get that damage. But now the boss hit me and then the splash damage happens. I've got 4 more heroes left here. That's fine. They will try to hit me and take me out. My Rosalie, if they hit my Rosalie, she's going to deal attack and she's going to heal herself up. And it's not going to affect me anymore. I will not die. Even though my Natalia did not have enough buffs to actually finish off all the minions there, even then I will not die. Reason being, my Rosalie is there to deal some counter-attack damage, and also she will also get those splash damage, which ensures that the minions die. Okay, so the minions are dead. You can see how she's able to control the situation there, even though the minions have not been completely killed by Natalia and her first hit, because Natalia did not have enough buffs on her to do a complete AoE. Even then, you don't have to worry about it. My Rosalie, your Rosalie will be able to handle the brunt of taking out the minions. And that's why she's so crucial in Ash Magisterium. If you do not have an opal, no problem. Don't worry about it. You don't have to build an opal. Just build your Rosalie and she will take care of it. The minions didn't die? No problem. She's now going to counterattack. She counterattacked and there you go. The minions are dead, because she did the splash damage. So as far as I'm concerned, this run is slightly slower than the opal run. Yeah, of course it is. It will be slower than the opal run, but does that matter? It's going to be 100% consistent, and that's what, for me, that's what is more important at this time. If I'm able to get my Natalia to a higher level of damage, then yes, I will be using opal to do a faster run, because then my Natalia will be able to one-shot them much more faster. If I get Shane, then yes, I will be using opal instead of Rosalie. But I don't have a Shane. I can use Florence, but if you don't have Florence, you can use Sacred Wind Strikes. If you don't have Sacred Wind Strikes, no problem. You can use Hazel. She can also cleanse. So the thing is that you do need a healer come cleanser over here a little bit, so that you can get topped up from time to time, and you can also cleanse the bomb from Natalia, because if Natalia does not have that immune on her, then she will take the bomb. There will be times when that will happen, but to avoid that, you do require a cleanser. And of course, Jonathan is really good in dungeons. He will place the decreased defense and attack down on the boss, and also I have Sacred Wind Strikes to do the same thing. So yeah, overall this is a balanced team which will ensure 100% runs. Of course, it happens between 18 to 20 rounds, but that's fine. If you're really interested in saving energy, if you're not getting a consistent run, if you do not have the right kind of heroes, then Rosalie will help you out. She will ensure that the minions are dead, she will ensure that you are surviving, and she herself can solo this. Even if the rest of the team dies at this point of time, she will be able to solo it. So you don't have to worry about it. So overall, what I think is that Rosalie is going to be really awesome for this dungeon. Okay, So you can see the total duration that took is 5 minutes 39 seconds. Of course, we got 2 blue gears. That's because I only did 1 run. If I'm doing 10 runs, I'll be getting more. So the lower the number of runs you're doing, the lower the kind of gear that you're going to get. Okay, but anyways, the shortest battle in this using this team is around 5 minutes 39 seconds. Yeah, with an opal team I can do it at half the time, 2 minutes 49 seconds. That's my time for with an opal team. But with an opal team I might lose 1 or 2 because I do not have enough stats on my Natalia. I might lose 1 or 2. But with this team, I will not lose. 100% consistent. So if you want to have a consistent team and if you have sufficient stats, you can use Opal, you can use Shane, you can use Florence. Go ahead and do it. But if you don't have that kind of a hero, until you get the kind of a hero, use Rosalie. You don't have to book her. You don't have to ascend her. And that's the benefit of using Rosalie. So now let's look at Tulpa. Now, Tulpa is a place, even though the gears that you get in Tulpa is hardly used by anybody, okay? You're not going to use any of those gears. Maybe 1 or 2 pieces wherever possible on your Hackrin or on your Nero. You might use the Vanguard set or the Terra set. But even then, even though the gear pieces are not really usable, it still is one of the toughest plays. And you do need a lot of legendary heroes. It's really hard to beat Tulpa 16 by using epics. It's almost impossible. I don't have the gear to do that. So I'm using Florence, Bella, Garrel, and Rosalie. So Bella is a synthesizable hero. Garrel was once a season hero and also one of the starter heroes, and Rosalie, the banner hero now, the season hero for current season hero. Of course, Florence is going to be terrible. All right, so I'll come back to you at the boss stage. Yeah, so we are now at the Tulpa boss. To deal against, to handle Tulpa boss, you do need to deal a lot of damage. You have to heal yourself up. So it's better to use heroes that have got self-sustain, that has got good heals on themselves, and also are able to do some counterattacks and do additional damage. Okay, so basically that's why you are using Florence over here. You want to ensure that you're getting as many bonus attacks as possible, deal as many damages as possible, as quickly as possible, because you have very limited time to deal with the boss. And so it's better that you're able to attack them and deal with them as soon as possible. And as you can see here, you're taking bonus damage from the Tulpic Fervor, and so that's really terrible when you're trying to handle this boss. And the boss constantly tries to hit my Florence, which is again terrible. Why doesn't he hit my Garrel or my Rosalie? Then she would have counterattacked. Both of them would have counterattacked. Anyways, so you do need a lot of heals. You do need to sustain yourself a lot of times, and that makes it very difficult for us to beat this boss. Okay, for the difficulty of this dungeon, I think like we need some better gear, some new gear that comes in and is able to, like make farming Tulpa worthwhile. But I think like maybe they are introducing some of those gear. I don't know. Maybe if they are introducing any of such gears and Rosalie is meant for that, I'll be very happy, right? I'll be really happy if anything new comes in that requires Rosalie to do, and that can be a better gear than what we are getting here in Tulpa. But at the same time, beating this flow is going to be really hard, and Rosalie is able to handle that for us. But you have to ensure that your heroes are alive till almost the last portion, till Tulpa is at like 25% of the health bar, because otherwise you will not be dealing enough damage, and by that time he will have enough stacks of Tulpic Fervor and he will be able to beat you. But here, because you have Rosalie, whenever somebody hits her, she's going to counterattack, and that helps you out a lot in ensuring that you are able to deal that additional damage out there, and also she's able to sustain herself. So overall, beating Tulpa does require some overpowered heroes, but Rosalie is also there now to help you out in finishing off Tulpa, right? So as you saw, if you look at the overall damage, Rosalie's damage is slightly lower than that of Garrel. That's possibly because she did not get hit as much as Carol did. If she was hit as much as Carol did, then her damage would have been equal to that of Carol or higher, because she's dealing a lot of damage, okay? And my Carol has got a few books on him, obviously. So obviously he's going to deal more damage than Rosalie is, and my Carol has got 3 ascensions. Rosalie does not have 3 ascensions. If she was 3 ascensions, she would have dealt much more damage than Carol. So she's there at the level of Carol, right? So I'm really enjoying using her. I think like she is certainly a recommended build hero. If you do not have that kind of other speed runs, you can certainly use her to do some runs to ensure that you're getting consistent runs in Tulpa and in Ash Magisteria, right? So let's look at her in a couple of arena runs as well, and then we will close this session. Well, here's one of the reasons why I said she is not going to be really useful in arena. You can see out here, you got light dark people, you got very few teams that has got only wood or fire. And there's hardly any fire heroes that are used in arena. It's either going to be water or it's going to be light and dark. You can see majority of them are like light and dark and water. So going against these heroes are going to be extremely difficult for Rosalie. Okay, so let's look at one of them. I've got one there with the Hazel and Yolanda team. We will go there and see how she can deal with that. Okay, so I will use this team: Rosalie, my legendary Winstrex, my sacred Winstrex, okay, Hitoshi and Jonathan. Let's see if I can do anything out here. Okay, let's see if I can deal enough damage to be really useful against this team. So I will try and stun Yolanda. I do not want her to use her shield. Let's go ahead and place some decreased defense on everybody and then see what kind of damage I can deal on Mythesia. So I'm just going to use the ultimate of Winstrex, so that increases the damage. Now let's try and deal some damage on Mythesia. She was able to one-shot 15,000 on that last hit. Okay, she was able to one-shot Mythesia. All right, so that's really awesome. I like that. Let's see if I can take out the Halia. No, she wasn't taken out. That Hazel can, of course, bring back Mythesia, which is ridiculous. That's not how it should work. Okay, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah, you do need somebody who's going to deal some damage. Okay, that's not a problem. So let's see if anybody is going to hit back on my Rosalie. Okay, I will not be able to do much damage on Hazel, so I'm going to just keep her there. Let's try to hit that Roger. Of course, Roger is going to deal a little bit more damage back on me, but because I already have that block damage on me, I'm not going to be dealing a lot of damage here. So let's please continue that and see if I can do some damages here. Because Hazel hit my Rosalie, she did not counterattack because Hazel is not a wood hero or a fire hero. So remember that it will only happen if that's a wood hero or a fire hero. So she has got a 3-turn cooldown on her ultimate, so I'll have to wait until I can get a good ultimate. So I'll have to wait one more round to deal enough damage on that guy. I'm trying to take out Roger. I hopefully can do that. Roger got an extra hit because of Yolanda, but that's okay. Now the problem there is Roger has got that buff on him from Yolanda, and so he's not going to die. Even if my Rosalie is able to take him down, he will not die because he's got that buff on her. So let's try to take out Yolanda. Of course, she does not have any additional buffs on her. She does not have Winstrex's increased crit damage, so she was not able to take Yolanda on one-shot Yolanda. That's fine. Oh, there comes Mythesia. Hazel also got healed. Sorry, that Roger also got healed, and she's going to heal everybody. Okay, I'll now have to deal with Mitesia once again, which is... This run is going to be long, okay? I'm going against wood heroes, and this run is going to be really, really long. I don't like this. That's the problem, okay? That's the problem with single target heroes. If her attack, if her ultimate was an AoE, this would have been an easy run. This would have been a super easy run. But because her ultimate is not an AoE, 20,000 damage against Roger with the basic. Now, granted, Roger is an elite hero, so yeah, it's not going to be a big deal, but still, she does hit really hard. Granted, she's really good against wood and fire heroes, but again, in arena, when you reach platinum, when you reach diamond, it's going to be really difficult to use a fire hero who's good against fire and wood heroes in arena because of the multiplicity of light and dark heroes and water heroes. It's going to be really difficult to use her in diamond arena. Yeah, if you have got very good gear and you are able to use her, that's great. But then you can also use other heroes. So for me, personally, I think like she should be used more in Ash Magisteria and in Tulpa, occasionally in arena, maybe sometimes in Void Tower Hard. If there are new contents coming in, certainly check that out later. But as of now, that's what I think about Rosalie. She is the queen of Ash Magisteria and Tulpa. That's what I think. What do you think about her? Let me know in the comments. So until next time, peace, love, and blessings to all of you. See you guys with a new video.